Hello friends, welcome to our course Threat Hunting in Cyber World. So in the last part, we have looked at threat hunting using SIEM. So basically, we will be using any kind of search queries or any kind of data analytics in order to look out for threats into your environment. So such kind of techniques like search queries or data analysis or any kind of basically any kind of techniques which you use for performing the threat hunting, such are known as hunts. So threat hunting hunts, which is what we will be focused in this part. So here I have noted out some of the examples of some of the threat activities which are being more common into your environment, and what are the various hunts or what are the various checks which would be look out with respect to these activities or with respect to these threats into your environment. So starting with the first point, which is known as hunting suspicious accounts. Any kind of suspicious accounts into your environment, which will be more persistent into your event viewer logs. So look out for any kind of unusual accounts logging into a machine with admin rights. So 4624 is the Windows event ID, which uses special privileges assigned to a new logon. So you can look out for such kind of event IDs using your SIEM or using any kind of log management solution. Hunting scheduled tasks. So in this case, need to look out for the Windows event IDs like 4698, 106, 200, and 201, which is more persistent or which is more related to this scheduled task jobs. Hunting past the hash attack. So in this scenario, first of all, let me make you understand what is pass the hash attack. So pass the hash attack is a technique wherein the attacker, it basically captures a password hash and then it simply passes it through the authentication with respect to other systems which are there in an environment. So it's a very important way where lateral movement is done by a malware or an attacker. So pass the hash attack also uses the first step, which is known as mimikatz, which uses a password dumping tool or command to dump the password. It uses the password which has been observed, which is the hash of the password, and then it uses this to actually simply pass it out to the other system, so that if they're able to authenticate to other system using those password hashes, it can be used for lateral movement. So what is the hunt for the pass the hash attack? Event ID 4624, Windows successful logon with logon type 3, a network type logon. And the logon process should be NTLMSSP and the key length should be 0. So this is the hunt. Now this is the hunt which can be converted into a search query and you can use it in your SIM platform. Like I said previously over here, you can write a search query out here based on the hunts which we have specified over here, and then you can look out for any kind of such scenarios into your environment. So the most important thing, you need to have logs for that. So the log collection is also a very important phase in our threat hunting scenario. Our next threat activity is hunting for service creations. The hunt for it is looking out for the Windows event ID 4697. Hunting out for the network shares, which is 4776, and then hunting out for the process masquerading. So looking out for the process path from where the process is being executed. For example, explorer.exe, which should basically run from this path. Any other path with respect to explorer.exe running, it should be a masquerading technique which is being used by the attacker. So that's how explorer.exe is one such process. There are various other processes which could be used by the attacker for process masquerading attacks. So that's how these are the various threat activities and the hunts which you looked out for. So hunts are basically checks or the search queries. You can convert this hunt into search queries or data analytics based on the platform which you're using for threat hunting. Let's look at some more interesting hunts. PTH, we have already discussed the pass the hash attack. We just look out for the remote logins associated with any kind of executions of binaries. So that's where remote logins with respect to execution of binaries will be an indicator of pass the hash attack, because someone has been using a particular system or a binary to look out for the remote logins. Image file execution option, which is out here. So the image file execution option is any kind of changes which is made to this registry path. It will pop out that there is some kind of changes to this path, and then any kind of image file execution options kind of a thing has been executed into your environment. So such kind of a attacker, such kind of a techniques has been used by attacker, wherein they actually use some kind of a debugger. They just place the path of the malicious application within this debugger, and anytime anywhere if such kind of a process executes, like task manager over here, as you can see in this process. So any kind of task manager process executes, along with the process, actually this process will execute like process explorer. So changes to this path will help us to identify if any such kind of maliciousness has been identified or has been created by a malware or a malicious software into environment. So in this scenario, if you try to execute task manager, your task manager has a debugger placed in the image file execution options, and in that scenario process explorer will execute. Other hunts may be like run dll32.exe, making connection to the internet. That is one hunt where you can look out for any kind of maliciousness. Deletion of the shadow copy files using wmic or vsadmin command. So you can look out for any such commands executions into your environment wherein the shadow copies will be deleted. And in such scenarios, such are the various hunts which will be look out based on the various endpoint logs which you have. So that's why I told that endpoint logs are very much critical for your environment. So let's look at some more hunts. Disabling the system restore function. So the any kind of malware, basically a ransomware attack, they basically try to do the most important thing like deletion of shadow copy files so that you can't restore it, also the system restore function. So this is the registry key where you can check whether the system restore function is enabled or disabled. Connection to a process other than the browser to suspicious domains like the onion sites or the tor sites. So any kind of process which is trying to communicate to a website or a link other than a browser, which would be a very suspicious activity, which is will created by malware or malicious software. certutil.exe used to download files from the internet. So this is a command which is being used by certutil process, which is a signed binary by Microsoft, and we are using this process to download a file from the internet. Now we obviously use browsers to download a file from the internet, and such other legitimate processes. But certutil is also a legitimate signed binary which is being used by Windows, and we can actually use this process to download a file from the internet. So how many of you have been taught that there are various such processes which are legitimate, which can be used in Windows and which can be used to download a file from the internet? So as you can see over here, this is a legitimate use, and none of your antivirus or any of your endpoint protection solutions will file this as a or alert this as a suspicious behavior, because certutil is a legitimate command or a legitimate signed binary. So that's where your threat hunting comes into, because you know that this is not a general or a very common scenario where people use certutil to download files from the internet. Monitoring scheduled task, at.exe, scheduled task.exe, these are the processes which are being used to schedule a schedule task in the Windows. Double extension malwares, control.exe, which is used to execute files stored in ADS. cpscript.exe used to execute logon script. mapinject.exe used to execute the read the ADS files. hh.exe executing and downloading files. scriptrunner.exe executing any kind of files. regsvr.exe downloading script from the internet. So as you go through all those exe files, all those binaries are Windows signed binaries. So none of your endpoint protection or none of your antivirus will tag this as a malicious behavior. Even certutil.exe, all those things are signed binary, run dll32.exe. So any kind of maliciousness with respect to these binaries will not be tagged as malicious. And hence we need to have this knowledge whether hs.exe can be used to download a file from internet. Yes, it can be used. So we as a threat hunter need to have a knowledge about this signed binaries, need to understand what exactly is the function of these binaries, and then you can use your threat hunting hunts to look out for such scenarios where any kind of hs.exe or certutil.exe is used to download a file from internet. That's where your scripting of a malware comes into picture, because malware may be using such signed binaries to carry out their task quietly and stealthily. But as a threat hunter, we need to look out for such threats. So before going or moving ahead, let's quickly look at such scenarios where many of such signed binaries has been listed down. So there is a project which is gone by the name LOLBAS, which is known as living of land binaries. So living of land binaries and scripts is basically such binaries which are legitimate and which are the signed binaries, and still our attacker or a malware uses such kind of binaries into your Windows environment to carry out their task. So that's a Microsoft signed binary pertaining to an operating system which can be used to carry out multiple tasks like executing code, compiling the code, persistence, UAC bypass, log evasion, DLL sideloading or hijacking, and many more. So that's a very important project which you can refer to. I can just show you some examples over here. OS binaries. So see, certutil, bash.exe. All these are Windows signed binaries, and we can use those to carry out our task. May it be a proper legitimate task which is been defined to use by the Windows, but we can also use it for our offensive way. As a attacker, they basically focus on such kind of binaries so that it will not trigger any kind of alert by an antivirus, and the task will be carried out in a very stealthy way. So that's a threat hunting hands. Let's look at some other things. Yes, so similar to the discussed hunts, there are multiple techniques which can be used. So I have discussed very few threat hunting hunts over here, like PTH, image file execution options, run DLL32, shadow copy file, system restore, cert util, mav inject, hs.exe, schedule task. In addition to this, there are various threat hunting hunts. So you can ask me how could I get to know such examples of such threat hunting hunts? Attack MITRE. So MITRE ATT&CK has given us a list of all such techniques out there, and you can just look out for the techniques, use Sigma rules out there, look out for such techniques, create hunts out of it. That hunts will be converted into search queries, and then use out those search queries into your SIEM or the log management platform. Hunting using SIEM is the way ahead because there are multiple SIEM vendors like RSA, Elasticsearch, ArcSight, QRadar. So in order to look like Fizzy, I have already made a master sheet of threat hunting hunts, mapping it to respective SIM vendors. Query it and hunt it. This entire sheet Sigma 2, which I referred to in the previous parts. So you have your entire Sigma rules and you have your respective threat hunting hunts or search queries with respect to your RSA, Elasticsearch, ArcSight, or a QRadar SIM vendor. So just use it in your SIM, look out for the threats and hunt it down. So that's all for this part. So we have discussed a few examples of threat hunting hunts in this part series, like suspicious accounts, pass the hash, image file execution options, registries, changes, system restore. Do refer to Attack MITRE or my Sigma 2 sheet for more and more such maliciousness or the malwareness techniques which is being used by the attacker or adversary to make any kind of stealthiness or the maliciousness into your environment. And that's where you need to understand such attacker techniques so that you can hunt out for such techniques using your knowledge which you have. So that's all for this part. Thank you very much. Bye bye.